Okay then, so we're going to start drawing the level button. That's this button that you can see here. Now you might notice that it's got nice curves around the edges. To make that nice curve, we're going to use something called the 9-patch rect. Now we've already used this on the course, so hopefully you can remember the features of that. We basically set this patch margin, which allows us then to stretch images with curves on the edges without making the edges look blurred and stretch themselves. So back in the interface then, let's make a new scene, other node, and this is going to be the 9-patch rect, and we'll call this a level button. Let's save this into scenes, create a new folder, level button, and save. So here what we're going to do is we're going to use this blue panel PNG in here, so I'll drop this into the texture here. Then inside the layout, set the minimum size to 64 by 64. So if I just zoom in on there, everything should be looking okay. We're not going to be okay though when it stretches. So what we'll do is we'll go to the patch margin and we'll give ourselves 10 pixels of stretch on all of the extremities, the left, top, right, and the bottom. Then further down in the layout, in the container sizing, what we're going to do is expand in the horizontal. That'll make these then fill up the available space inside the grid container. Then we want the actual label for the number. So we'll add a label as a child to this, and I'll call this the level label. On the right hand side, just some placeholder text of 00 for now. We want to be centered, and also the anchoring in the center as well. Then we can load up our label settings, and we can do this GM white one here. And again, let's do the same thing with the font here. Just reset the font and find the font as well. So quick load, and I'll load this from here. So this is our level button almost completed. There's just one tiny feature missing, which you might have spotted inside the slide. So we have a little check mark indicator, which I hope you can see on the top left-hand side here. It's not on any of the other buttons, just the first two. This is going to be used to indicate whether we've actually completed a level or not. So we're going to persist our scores to file, and when we load them up, if we have a score for a given level, then we'll put a little check mark here to say that it's actually been completed. So let's add this in as well to finish off the level button in terms of visuals. So we'll add a little texture rect here. It's going to be our check mark. So somewhere we've got a green check mark here inside there. So if I drag and drop that in, it is looking a little bit big. So what we can do is we can actually scroll down into the layout and into the transform section, and we'll set this at 20 by 20 pixels. Now I've noticed that's not allowed me to go lower than 21 in the X, but that's okay, that'll do. That's more the effect that I was wanting. The position here, let's actually move this by around 4 pixels so it's not quite over the border. That looks okay to me, so I'll do Control and S to save. Now initially we don't want this visible, so we'll hide it, and also let's call it something useful like checkmark as well. And that completes the visuals for the level button. We can check this out by going to the main actually, holding the level buttons grid and just instantiating a level button, and you can see that it's filling the grid. But I'm going to duplicate a few of these. And have I forgotten to set the columns on this? Or I have, yep, sorry, the columns are 1. I need columns 6. That's better. I was wondering what was going on there. So I'll just make a couple more of these. Yep, that's about the effect that I was going for. Now in terms of the grid itself, we can do a little bit of spacing. So we'll go to Theme Overrides Constants, and we'll set the horizontal and vertical separation to 12 for each of them. Now do notice that the level buttons are a little bit flat there, aren't they? Let me duplicate one more of these. So let's go back to the level button then. Select the level button, and then we'll select to expand in the vertical as well. And then back into main. Okay, that's better. It looks a bit weird now, I admit, but when it's filled up, it'll look fine. And with that looking like that, then what I'll actually do now is select all of those and then delete them, because we're going to create those from code, which we'll have a look at in the next lesson.